Hey, it's Oh Shipwreck. I have a fan going, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry, but it's way too hot for that not to be a thing.
Does that girl kind of remind you of Sarah Silverman? The fact that she looks like Sarah Silverman's long-lost daughter, or the fact that she's a feminist? Oh, come on, man. We don't know if she's a feminist or not.
Over the weekend, I got a lot of comments on a video I posted maybe 3 weeks ago about how to teach boys not to rape.
Okay. I was wrong. I was wrong.
And they were all comments from men's rights activists, meninists.
Well, my friend, meninists, or minimism, is a joke. So, I mean, you should not take them all too seriously because they don't actually exist and they're not advocates. It is a parody of feminism.
That there's this new, or I don't know if it's new, but this group of people who hate women called MGTOWs or some shit like that.
Well, that's not really a fair representation of MGTOWs. I mean, yeah, are some of them misogynistic? Absolutely. But not all of them hate women. Some of them are just genuinely indifferent. Some of them like women, they just say, I don't want to have relationships with them. Some of them are still friends with women. And then some of them, as I have said earlier, are indeed misogynistic. It's a mixed bag. I wish I could make a pie chart and show you the statistics of it all, but I don't have the funding, nor do I know all of the men who claim to be MGTOWs. So yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some of them hate women, some of them are indifferent. Others, they like women, they just don't want to have relationships with them.
It's basically they don't want to have anything to do with women. Whatever. All the comments were sort of really missing the point and kind of just hating on me for being a woman speaking out against rape. It made me think of this article that I wrote a while back, kind of on the topic, and I just wanted to read at least parts of this article.
Wow, man, that girl has the charisma of a garden snake. That's giving her way too much credit. This girl has the charisma of a potato.
You feminists or men's rights activists or whatever you are calling yourselves these days, I hope you'll actually listen and not just say hateful things, but whatever. Most hateful things I end up deleting anyway because I don't want that in the world. So
Here we go. One of the scariest things in this culture, I believe, is the amount of men who don't realize that they've raped someone. The amount of coercion and inequality in heteronormative sexual dynamic is unbelievable.
I am taking 15 points away from you for using the word heteronormative.
It's also extremely exhausting if you're a woman who's been a victim of these dynamics. I've had conversations with men that I know who haven't realized that they raped someone. They think it's something only evil people do.
Well, when the image of raping someone is forcibly holding an individual down as you forcibly penetrate their vagina or anus continuously as they beg for you to stop, yeah, it's no shock or wonder why people think it's something that only evil people do.
It's men with ski masks standing in alleys. The majority of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, it's people that we know. Maybe even people that we like, or that we trust, or that we're in relationships with. The thing is, rape is a really strong word, and we're all really hesitant to assign that name to certain sexual instances.
Yeah, I know, considering the fact that the original definition of the word rape was to be overtaken with a great amount of force.
And not many people think of themselves as rapists.
Well, no shit.
Unless people are going to go around admitting it. Some people can't even go as far to logically draw the line as to what is rape and what is not rape. They can see it in other people, but because they think of themselves as having the best intentions, they don't see what they did as rape.
How do you mistakenly rape somebody? Like, the only way you could mistakenly rape someone is if you were with a girl who wanted to have a rape fantasy and you took it too far with that girl, as she said blue, 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 or whatever safe word she had, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you wanted this to be as realistic as possible. That's the only way I think you could mistakenly rape someone. Oh wait, yep, that's right, I forgot. Heard a little while ago that rape is not usually violent, which is an oxymoron, but Keep talking.
It's all too common for men to have sex with women who are slurring their speech and unable to even stand up.
You understand that that goes both ways, right? That there are too many women having sex with men who are slurring their speech and not really cognizant of where they are. It's called drunken sex. It's not rape. However, for some odd reason, because it involved a drunk woman, even if the man is also drunk, that's still rape for some odd reason. Even though technically speaking they both would have raped themselves because neither of them could consent, but because the man has testicles, he's responsible somehow. Not sure how that works in our equal society.
Or it's really common for men to use verbal coercion, like, I thought that you liked me, or don't you think I'm attractive, or you never want to have sex with me, what's wrong with you?
And now, I don't really like the way you painted that. It's like, you painted that as if women have the mental capacity of children and that they can't just say, fuck off. Or like they can't just say no over and over and over again. Like they can't just say, I do like you, I do find you attractive, but I'm not having sex with you. It doesn't really matter what any man says to her. If she gets her feelings hurt and she still says yes, then she still consented. I mean, that's like you saying that a pushy salesman has committed theft because he wouldn't let you just walk away after he said, no, I'm not interested in your product. But you and I both know that you would not call that theft. So I don't understand why you would call coercion rape. Think about this one for a second. I understand why you would think that. Why you would think that a woman not enthusiastically having sex with someone would be rape. However, no one was forced into doing anything. No amount of shaming language any man can say to a woman or any woman can say to a man, because believe it or not, women will go through the ends of the earth calling you a little limp dick nigga, small dick guy, or whatever names that she wants to say to have sex, and you know, it's the same level of coercion. The man still has the ability to say, look, woman, get out my house, I'm not having sex with you. If someone gets shamed into having sex, I can understand why you would say that's wrong and that's bad, but it should not be considered rape because the individual still consented to doing it. And because we're not talking about children in this scenario, we're talking about adults, there's no way you could put that in a court of law and say, this person raped me. Unless some drugs were involved. But if the two people are sober and someone is trying to convince you to have sex with them, there's no way you can call that rape.
Any form of coercion, whether it's guilting, embarrassing them, shaming them, lying to them, that's not consensual sex.
That's like me saying any form of commercials or advertisements that convinces you to buy a product you didn't originally want is theft.
The problem is, though, many men don't realize that they're using these coercion tactics. It's so ingrained in our culture that men are just horny bastards always needing sex that it ends up just feeling natural.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck,
Most women that I know, and keep in mind I did not take a survey, this is just my personal experience, have had some sort of coercive sex experience.
And so they think it's perfectly fine for them to put themselves in the category of women who were held down and forced to have sex when they didn't want to. That's the equivalent of that. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that we have different standards for manslaughter, such as if you accidentally kill someone, and then you have different standards of premeditated murder or first or second degree murder? I mean, with manslaughter and murder, you're still killing somebody, right? And yet we handle those in different, situations. We handle those with different sentences and different types of legal ramifications and legal procedures. So why in the hell do we have rape is just rape, but every other crime there's different degrees to it? Doesn't make any sense to me. And also, rape is a very violent crime. And I find it to be incredibly disrespectful to say that someone convinced you to have sex with them because they said, I thought you liked me, is the same as someone forcing you down on the ground and putting their penis or putting an object inside of you continuously as you say, stop. That's bullshit. Sorry, that's bullshit.
Many have had multiple experiences. Here are a list of some really common things that people I know have experienced, and many of them I have experienced personally. Street harassment. Every day. all the time, talking about men calling slurs out windows, making vulgar hand movements, saying what they'd like to do to us sexually, telling us to smile when we don't feel like it.
Just wow, so much misogyny. Just he asked me to smile, but I didn't feel like it. I mean, how do you even toss that in there as street harassment with all the other things? The vulgar words, I got you. I understand you might not want to hear that. That might make you feel uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's not illegal, but I'd say the very simple solution is just ignore it and keep going about your day, because you'll probably never see that guy again. But someone asking you to smile, you consider that as fucking street harassment. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Following us down the street and in general making us feel unsafe.
Look, listen. I know I'm gonna sound like a dick here, but you feeling unsafe doesn't mean shit. You having a feeling doesn't really mean anything, okay? You know, like a chihuahua would feel unsafe whenever a new person enters the door, but the person can have a bunch of dog food to feed them. I mean, they feel unsafe, but the truth of the matter is the person who just walked in the door actually has all the intentions to give them nourishment. You feeling unsafe doesn't mean anything unless someone actually did something or said something threatening to you. If you don't give me any of that, those are just your subjective feelings, and thus there's nothing to be argued against.
Normalized sexual assault. I specify normalized because I'm not talking about the kind that we all realize is bad. I'm not talking about isolating a woman in a stairwell, muffling her screams and groping her. I'm talking about coming up behind women at clubs or parties and dancing sexually with her before she even gets a chance to see your face or know your name.
You do know. Actually, you don't know, but I'm going to tell you. Now, this is going to blow your mind. It's going to shock you just a little bit, but as it turns out, some women dress really sexily and in short shorts, and some of them even go without any underwear on with the sole purpose of locating a man to have sex with them and to dance with them. Some women do that on purpose. Some women want you to come up and just start dancing with them. I mean, look, listen, I know that you probably have never thought about that or experienced that in reality, but over here in the fucking real world, some women have the agency to dress sexily and want men to come over and dance with them. It happens. I'm not saying it's all women, I'm saying it's some women. So to act as if all women think that it's a crime is foolishness at its finest.
I'm talking about dancing with a woman, which she's okay with, but then continuing to grope her, which she hasn't consented to. I'm talking about incessantly hitting on a woman by getting in her space, and her only way out is if her friend by chance passes by and sees that she's uncomfortable because they make eye contact. Another on the list is being way too conscious of our drinks, and it's not as simple as just not picking up a drink after you've set it down. We also have to be wary of the people that we accept drinks from.
Every day you get into a car and you drive, you have to go out there with the understanding that someone may not be the best driver and could run into you and kill you, right? But what you have to do is more important than the risks of someone randomly crashing into your car. That being said, it's kind of the same thing with drinking a drink. I mean, you're cognizant of your own drink because you might drink someone else's drink, or maybe again the whole spiking thing. That's just the reality that you're going to have to accept to defend yourself from bad things happening. You could just, not drink at all and just dance like a regular person, or you could only drink within the safety of your own home. There's easy solutions for that. But for you to go outside and expect everyone's world to bend to your whim, you're asking for way too much, lady.
Not trusting the people that you're drinking around is a huge one.
The whole trust thing, and once again, is very subjective. It doesn't really mean anything. That means she doesn't trust you. It's not really much you can do about all that.
Drinking should be a fun and easy time, and people should have each other's backs in case it gets out of hand, because it can be a dangerous thing. And the final thing on the list, I think, is something most women can sadly relate to. Giving in to someone who's begging for sex.
I'm done. Fuck this. I'm out. You know what? That being said, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. I'm out.